Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back for a brand new episode of the Spfl show. And I think the first time since the new year, or at least it's a rarity, the foursome's here. That's right.
I know.
4 horses there. Apocalypse is here, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. We'll start off with... We're going to start off with you, Sharpdiv, because you're back into the bottom, mate, after last week's jump up. What's happened?
I don't know, mate. I just got here last minute, didn't I?
Aye,
that's it. That's basically it. There's no reason for Gogsy being above me. There's no real reason for Gogsy being above other than that. That's what I always say, aye.
Ryan 118, how's it been, mate?
Oh, hi, good to be back again. There's a couple of weeks off. I feel like
a couple of weeks, just have a wee holiday.
I feel like I've just been out of the mix for a while, so it's good to be back. I'm doing well.
That's because you have been, mate. You've been wandering, but I'm glad that you could fit us into your schedule today. It's been great.
See, I gave up a shift. I gave up a shift for this today.
Fantastic. To be fair, I just want to say, Ryan, I'm very thankful the 2 shows you did miss was when we dropped points, so I appreciate that.
I know it's mental. The 2 shows that I missed is probably the ones that would have been the most fun for me, and can only blame myself.
Come on,
so.
Fucking beautiful.
Blame myself.
And Gogsy 99 now with the Motherwell sheets. How's it going, brother?
Absolutely fantastic, boys. How's it going?
I'm no bad myself, mate. I'm no bad.
Still in my hat, so it's all good.
Connor Mitchell writes in, why are they all wearing black tops?
Oh my god.
Nobody realised that.
I don't know. We just all got the memo at the same time, so.
Right. This week's episode is going to be pretty filled. We've got 8 games to break down. There's so much to discuss, and we're going to be previewing and I can't even speak today. We're going to be looking at the next round and that as well. So, without any further ado, boys, we may as well just jump right into this. And Ryan, mate, since you've not been here for a wee while, for a wee holiday, pick the game to start off with. What do you want to start with?
But we're doing a Scottish Cup, aren't we? We'll talk about the Cup games of the weekend. So I am going to... I just was trying to make sure in case I was expected to come on and talk about Queen of the South versus Morton or something like that. So anyway, I'm going to start off with the Celtic game. Do you know what? Just like
right in there.
Way. Celtic and Clyde. I mean, it was a game that was restricted by the elements, you could say. But Celtic got the job
was the element bio.
Yeah, bio. By the way, getting the goal. Terrific, you know. It's just you want to see.
5 of 10.
See him. That's what's that? A year he's been at Celtic, and his record is 2 goals. Fantastic. But
he did have a game where there was 2 OGs where he almost scored. But other than that,
I don't count. So shame, but you know what? We got the job done despite it being difficult. You could see that the weather did not favour any of the teams, but Clyde they came into the game and they done exactly what you would expect a team in League One to do against the champions. You'd expect them to hit hard and get stuck in, tackles flying and all the rest of it. They weren't nice, but I didn't expect any less. They got dug in, but we managed to break them down. Eventually, we got the job done in the first half. We went into half time 2-0 up, and that was it. Job done. So it was just a matter of getting some players in the park, giving them time. We saw the likes of Shred come into the team. Kamala got a start.
Spelled his name wrong as well, see.
They spelled his name wrong in his shot, which was tremendous. And then it was good though to see some different players getting the team. I think Shred was the main one who actually come on and got an assist as well, so that was good to see. And it was a quiet affair. It's not the best game of football you'll ever see in your life. I mean, that was pretty dreadful standing watching it, but job done.
I think
33 games.
I think the only 2 teams that 2 chances that actually got was for David Goodwin. One where he's actually holding off some good strength and has a shot wide, and then one, I don't know what he was doing late on in the game, but that was pretty much it for the Clyde. He was literally right on goal and he somehow had somebody pass to it was almost in between both of them, but apart from that, for the Clyde perspective, they never really created any major opportunities. And like I said, if it wasn't for Bio, Celtic could have hit 5 or 6. There was just so many chances.
There was times in the game.
Was probably Clyde's best defender.
Yeah, there was times in the game where Clyde got their foot in the ball, man. They showed that they had a wee bit about them. They were right up for it. They're always going to be, but with Celtic getting that goal in the first 20 minutes, like you need to get past that first 20-25 minutes if you're ever going to have any chance of doing something in the game. I thought Celtic were absolutely awesome, to be honest, in terms of professionalism. They showed right up for it. We obviously picked Scott Brown, put him in right in, and straight for the start, his attitude was exactly how you would want it to be. He set the tempo, and Celtic it was a real professional job. And as you said, David Goodwill, he was probably the only guy who would have had the quality to do something for Clyde. They were highlighting that he scored 22 goals this season. Closest to him is 4 goals. So there was Exactly, I think they're needing a Hull kit in their team or something like that to help him out there. But it was just one of those games, wasn't it? It was nice and professional. And
there's only one thing I want to ask, Ryan. You saw the full game and everything else, so you might know the answer. When Scott Brown scored, why did he lean over and have a word with that boy? Were they battling for the game or something like that?
See, at the time, I was because where I was sitting at the stadium was like right in line with the goal. That was where I was. So the first thing I see is him screaming in the guy's face. But honestly, I couldn't tell you why. The only thing that I can assume was, I think, maybe during the wee tussle, he was maybe pulling at his shot or something like that.
Right, okay.
Because it was quite a scrappy goal. If you've seen the goal, you know it was the master class, you know. So I can only imagine that's it. But Brown was having a wee bit of a battle throughout the whole game. It seemed like, because, as I say, Clyde were getting stuck right in. They weren't hiding that.
Were good.
Rankin was trying to leave a couple bits on him as well. I noticed throughout the game as well. Danny's usual thing. Can't believe John Rankin's still playing.
I couldn't believe when the announcer said he was on the bench. My jaw dropped. I couldn't believe it.
He started the game, right?
That's what I'm saying. The announcer just said his name, and I was like, "Excuse me." He's still playing. But I mean, one thing that can be missed out for the game is 33 cup games in the bounce now for Celtic. Incredible, just tremendous record.
That's a good record, but I want to ask you, Ryan, obviously, there wasn't a lot to take out the game, but one of the only things that you could really highlight in this is the boy Klimala getting his first start. Do you think that he done enough? Obviously, Bio came on. He had 3 chances. He fluffed his lines twice. Absolutely terribly, but did he do enough to show that he was worth $3.5 million?
Well, John Kennedy's came out and backed Klimala. He's come out and said he's got the potential to be a player at the highest level for Celtic. That I think his performance at the weekend shouldn't be judged to. I know he's playing Clyde, which is a lot less opposition you'd expect him to go and get goals. But I mean, he's had about 20 minutes of football since coming to Celtic. 20 minutes of football in the year 2020, pretty much. Also, I mean, the weather wasn't outstanding either. I think it'd be hard to judge. It wasn't a great performance.
He did have a great chance the first 20 minutes.
He missed a one-on-one opportunity, which was you would expect to bury it. But the thing is, it looked sharp. He looked like he looked sharp in the sense when he was making good moves. His movement looked good. He was getting into spaces and areas. He held up the ball quite well at points. Just on the finishing part, hopefully that will improve. I think that will come with time, and more game time in the park. I think we'll get more results out of him.
I think Clyde should do an appeal and get you knocked out the cup for fielding an eligible player, because that's not his name. Clyde, think about it.
It's a great point.
See, the thing is, they actually announced him as that as well. You know how it said Klimala? It said Klimala on his shirt. When he got subbed off, when they were bringing on Bio, the announcer did say Patrick Klimala. I noticed that, but I didn't at the time notice that his shirt said Klimala. So maybe they were just running the line with a joke. Who knows?
I was just, I've tuned in, man. I was just waiting on wee Danny Lennon running on the park with you.
That's what I said. I was waiting for a wee change to bring him on player manager. I mean, he looks as though he's been a part of a shipwreck or something, hasn't he? Well, he's aged terribly.
He would have something telling for David Goodwill, man. That's just...
it's just the hair and all that now. What's that about?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Changed so much. Won the Betfred Cup and then boom.
That's it
from there.
But that's pretty much it from the Celtic perspective. There is one thing I do want to say very briefly before we move on. Obviously, there was a former Celtic player who's currently in hospital just now because the bleeding inside his brain. I don't know if any of you have actually heard it. It's Jackie McNamara. That's right. And I know, obviously, it doesn't matter who you support. I'm sure everyone watching today's video is wishing him and his family all the best, and hopefully there's good news soon. But we move on to the next game then, and we'll go to yourself, Sharpdiv. We'll start and we'll go along that way.
Let's go down to Somerset Park, United versus St Johnstone. This is a game where, Stephen May was in it again, wasn't he? He was showing what he was all about, just showing why he is the Lord, why he's took over for Dougie Imrie, potentially. I mean, it's still early. It's very early for that, I would say. But United started great. They break through the defence. St Johnstone notoriously, they're well set up and stuff, and they get an early goal. And when I seen that they'd scored that goal, I thought, you know what, they might be a wee shock here. But we're getting picked by a lot of people. Somerset's a hard place to go, but St Johnstone fought back brilliantly, didn't they? They managed to put a really good ball into the box. Muirhead, who put it into his own net, had a murderous 10 minutes, didn't he? I mean, he was on a yellow card and he goes flying into a tackle.
He must.
I know he's trying to say a standard basically with that tackle. But when you're on a yellow card, just don't do that. And before you know, it's 2-1 to St Johnstone, and that was it really.
Oh, he must have had St Johnstone on his coupon, surely. You've got to think that, innit?
I agree with True Blue 72 there as well.
Mm-hmm. So I think we're all agreeing it is a definite red card then, right?
Absolutely.
I don't know if you're a ref, but Come on.
No, there's no dispute. It's an absolute stonewall red card.
I just think he lost his seed in the game, obviously, the way it was going, because Ayr started off brilliantly, a fantastic finish to take the lead, then like that, can crumble, especially against the teams in the top division. I think he lost his seed there, no complaints, and I thought Callum Henry done very well as well. Again, it's a tidy finish for St Johnstone. There was one moment, Stevie May, where he tried to chip the goalkeeper, came very close, and that would have just made my weekend right there, but unfortunately for us all here on the Spfl show, it clipped the post and went wide. But I've got to say, as a St Johnstone, not many people were backing him. Everyone was looking at this game and saying St Johnstone are going to lose. So St Johnstone defying the odds yet again for Tommy Wright.
I really feel bad for Ayr. I backed them 100% going to this game. I thought they were going to do it 2 rounds in a row, knock out Premiership opposition. Mark Kerr has had a fantastic season down at Ayr. I mean, they've got bigger. Ayr fans will be really happy with what they've had this season. They've got bigger fish to fry ultimately, because at the end of the day, they can be in the Premiership next year. I fancy them to whoever finishes in that 11th spot. Ayr have got a team that has shown that they can beat them. And after losing Ian McCall and Lawrence Shankland, you'd think it would be all down from there. Really impressive what they've done down at Somerset, and it would have been nice to see them go through, but they could be up soon.
They've managed to kick on after losing McCall, and Kerr has done a great job. He's just kind of steadied the ship if he had to, kind of to a certain extent, just carried on. And very unlucky. Other than Muirhead maybe getting sent off, might have been a different result in this game.
Yep.
Yeah, they definitely started well, and like you said, it's very impressive how they keep losing these big players and who their best players are. But season on season, they just end. You might never know. Like getting up to this cup might do wonders for them in the league. Less games, more chance to catch them up. You never know. Gogs, everyone's asking if you're sleeping because you've not spoken 7 minutes. What's going on? What do you think of the game?
I just thought, had Muirhead not been sent off, I don't think they'd have conceded straight away, because Muirhead would have been there marking Hendry and clearing the header. But I don't have much else to add. These have all covered it wonderfully so far.
Thank you. Stop it, you. Right, well, actually go yourself then. We don't need to go too much into detail that, unfortunately, for Ayr, it is the journey over, but St Johnstone battle on once again against all odds. But Gogsy, what game would you like to speak about next, son?
I would like to, go on, we'll talk about St Mirren 1, Motherwell 1, get that out of the way.
Let's go for it.
Yeah, so we took the leads through Mark O'Hara's rebound after Chris Long's really poor one-on-one attempt to make it 1-0. But before that, St Mirren had a relevant claim for a handball on Peter Hartley from Lee Hudson's cross. It should have been a handball before that, actually, as well.
Yeah, it was.
Same phase, Donnelly, then Hartley. So we were really lucky that Dallas was looking right at it. I thought, surely, and it was on the linesman's side as well. You should surely give a penalty, but...
Sorry to interrupt you, Gogsy, but what I say about that Dallas boy, he should not be a referee.
He should not.
He's shite.
We said this in the chat. Like I said he was absolutely horrendous.
He's shite.
I mean, St Mirren were unlucky not to go through ultimately. I mean, they also hit the post in the first half. Gillespie was forced into a few really good saves by that Yakubiak. But on the whole, I thought a draw may have been a fair result. No team really were standout who was better. Yeah. And I'm actually just happy that we're in the hat for the next round. And unfortunately, we've got to go and do it all again a week on Tuesday. But it's a risk I'm willing to take, because on another day, had that gone to extra time, I feel like we could have lost that.
Yeah.
Motherwell are kind of going through a wee dip at the moment. There's been a few results that have went against them, and I think we all kind of thought that potentially they were going to get back on track with this game at St Mirren. And as you say, St Mirren probably felt a wee bit hard done by the end of that game. They created some chances. I'm just going to call him Jakob because I can't pronounce his name properly and I don't want to insult him, but thought that he was strong. He came on. He showed a wee bit of a different dynamic to St Mirren. And I thought they were unlucky, mate. It is. I thought they were unlucky, and Gillespie, your hero again with a couple of big saves.
Absolutely. It's just so unfortunate for Gillespie, because the one thing he was beaten by was a deflected shot.
He makes a fantastic man. He was good all day, but it's kind of similar story with St Mirren. What we say here every single week: playing good football, should be getting more, but not doing enough. to win a game of football, and it's gone the same way again, Ryan. Once again, they've played fantastic stuff. They should have won, but they're no. What's St Mirren missing? St
Mirren need a striker. That's what they need. They need somebody. They need a goal. They need a goal scorer. They need a clinical goal scorer. That's what they need, because they've got it set up well at the back. I think they've got good players in the middle. The boy McCarthy's came in that David's already spoke about before in the past. Obika is a man who shows he can score, but he's
almost scored as well.
He's just he's not got that clinical finish. He's shown that in the past few games. You know, he's been it was the Aberdeen game that was televised a couple of weeks ago. The chance that Potter wasn't here for the show, so he's probably spoken about it. But he had a fantastic chance against them, and he absolutely bloated it. That's what they need, I think. They're a player away. Like, you know, you look at teams around the league who have that striker, can score goals. You look at how Doidge is playing for Hibs. You look at Boyce at Hearts. If they had a player like him up front, Dykes at Livy, if you had a player like him up front, St Mirren would be in a far better position than what they are right now.
They played some really beautiful stuff, but again, like you said, they're lacking that clinical edge. Now, I just want to ask you very briefly, because there was a lot of excitement on the transfer deadline day, Gogs, about a certain signing from Newcastle. And how did you think he performed in this game by Big Aarons?
Rolando Aarons was the best player in the park for me. Every time he got the ball, like, everyone just stood up, and you just had that feeling he was going to do something. And I mean, we had that in Boli Aribi last season.
Yeah.
But Rolando Aarons, he's like a step above Aribi. Like, there was one moment in the first half where he got the ball, he cut inside, curled effort, and Hladky did well to punch the ball away for a corner. But I think he's the difference between maybe where we finish this season in terms of the race for a third.
Div, what do you think of it? Oh, sorry, Gogs, carry on, mate.
No problem. Div, carry on.
What was your reaction to the signing?
The man Rolando?
Yeah.
I never knew too much about him, not going to lie, not going to bullshit. I did not know too much about him, and I've still not seen enough of him to kind of give my judgment. But going off of what Gogs is saying, and he's comparing him to the boy Aribe, I was really, really impressed with him last year. I thought the balance in Motherwell was really, really good with him and the team. He was very tricky. And if you're saying he's a level above, then I'm expecting big things, to be quite honest with you.
I think Aaron's really burst onto the scene with a couple of early appearances for Newcastle last year or the year before, but then kind of fell away for the first team. But there is a lot of excitement there. It's going to be, I think it's a really good signing. Like, bringing something with a high potential for the league.
I was stunned when they signed him, in all honesty, especially the rating that he was getting down south after he did break in the scene. A lot of people saying that the potential he had. Didn't expect him to be in the Premiership at any point. If it was, it would have been the Celtic or Rangers, but fair play to Motherwell for pulling off.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see.
He was recommended by Gail Bigarimana.
Oh, the big man.
The big
former Rangers legend. Right, lads, I'm gonna. You're all talking about interesting games with goals and stuff like that, but it's time to just drag the mood right down and talk about the worst game of football of the weekend, which was by far Aberdeen 0, Kilmarnock 0, and Jesus Christ, this was bad. I mean, it's that bad. I've only got one note, and it was shit.
And it was windy. That's my note.
Let's move on.
Yeah, I mean, there was a incident involving a penalty kick. Should we maybe break this down? Should Aberdeen have had a penalty? Do you think yes or no around the audience? We'll start with you, Div.
No.
No?
No.
Like it's inside the box when that flips. I think they've been very, very unlucky with that. It looks like it's inside.
It's a hard one. Like, originally when I saw it, I thought no. Going back on the highlights, I'm still indecisive. It might be in a foul, but I'm just going to take the exact. It might not be a foul. I'm just going to take the referee's word on this, and I know they're not very trustworthy, but surely it's going to be right sometime. Surely one of them's going to be right. Like, he's not that far away from the incident, so I think they're clutching at straws. Like, Aberdeen should be doing a whole lot better. I think if there's one thing really you can take away from the game, it isn't really on the footballing side of it. It's more so on the managerial side of it. Aberdeen fans still not happy with McInnes at the helm. Me personally, I don't know if they're going to be able to get somebody in who's going to be able to continuously lose his best players and keep building squads. But at the end of the day, the Aberdeen fans are not happy. They booed them off the pitch yet again. There was one moment in the game with Lewis Ferguson, who I think's been bright. Burst on the left-hand side, has a shot, potentially can cut it back. I think it's good for him personally. And the Aberdeen fans are getting pelters. Probably the only moment in the game where there's a bit of quality. They're just not behind the team at the moment. They're not behind the manager. What do you guys think? Do you think that his time's up?
I think McInnes has to go. No question.
Really?
I think his time is done. Like, I think, right, he's the longest serving manager in the league apart from Tommy Wright, of course. He's been there a long time. He knows the club inside out. Aberdeen have done everything they can under McInnes. They've won a trophy. They've finished second in the league. The days of finishing second in the league and that being an expectation at Aberdeen are over. It's Celtic and Rangers that are the top two clubs in the country. Battling for third place is Aberdeen's level. Look, if Aberdeen fans can't accept that, then McInnes has to go because he needs something fresh. He needs something to get, because it's the performances on the park at the end of the day which is making it worse. So for me, it's time for him to move aside. I don't know how they would work it. I don't know if they'd give him at the end of the season and then maybe he leaves on his own terms so that he can get the respect that he deserves for the time he's been there. He's been a tremendous servant to the club, but that loyalty is only going to stretch so far, and the fans have already showed that. And McInnes hasn't helped himself. I'm sure a couple of weeks ago, McInnes came out and criticised the fans, which in this situation is something you shouldn't do. You shouldn't come out and criticise the fans if you're the boss. I think, look, maybe he stays to the end of the season, but I think it's time for something fresh over there. But I mean, the expectations, I think some Aberdeen fans do have it too high. It's a tough.
There is also the argument, Ryan, that he continuously, as I say, loses his best players and he needs to build this Aberdeen team back up.
And gain.
So that's the thing,
and he has brought in some good players. Matty Kennedy's come in, Dylan McGeoch has come in. He's starting to try and build this team again. And is it just you give him time? Because it wasn't that long ago Aberdeen won the Dane as well as they kind of are. He's been a cemented top 3 team.
For the last 2-3 years, he's done a fantastic job at saving his sale, because it seems like there's been the same conversation at this kind of point in the season for the last couple of years now. Yeah. Like, you know, this came out, McInnes should go, and then after we get to like March time, he goes in a decent run and he saves his job, really. Well, not saves his job, but he gets the fans back on his side. Maybe that will happen again, but from, you know, the Aberdeen fans that I know myself to the Aberdeen fans that you see on Twitter, they won't change. So for me, if I was an Aberdeen fan, I think I would be on their side, to be honest.
Adam Oliver actually brings up something I was going to talk about regarding Aberdeen, where the problems actually are. And he's kind of perfectly summed up. They've not scored from open play in 600 plus minutes. And when you've got goal scorers like Cosgrove, when you've got people like McGinn who can unlock the door, when you've got Ferguson, when you've got new Matty Kennedy, there must be something wrong. And they're all tactics, either hammer phone, putting the ball up, and trying to win like cheap fouls and stuff like that just aren't working right now. And it just, everyone seems to have just quietened down. The quality is lacking in the final third. And it just shows you, like what we always say, as long as a team's got a goal scorer, they're fine in this league. The goals have dried up now for Cosgrove, and Aberdeen are sinking because of it.
You stole the words right out of my mouth there. I was about to say the goals have dried up for Cosgrove and they're struggling. You just say that exactly how it is.
I mean, it's just funny to see.
The other side of the argument in McInnes is, how much better can Aberdeen get as a manager? That's that. I mean, there's as much you wouldn't like to hear it, Gogs. I guess there's a chance of them maybe going for somebody like Stephen Robinson or whatever around the league. But
there we go again.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, how many options do Aberdeen really have? Is it a gamble for anybody else? It's like you don't. Yeah. It's a hard situation to be in, because obviously the board clearly back him.
Absolutely, mate. He's untouchable there.
So
funny you should bring that up. The last two managers before McInnes were poached from Motherwell in Craig Brown and Mark McGee. So and look where that got them. I mean, they were like fighting relegation at one point. So I don't see how that could be a good thing. I mean, I think if you get found out as a team, because like Aberdeen were playing well at one point this season and then they got found out, and as I said, all it takes is for teams to stop Cosgrove, and then they're not going to pick up results, and that's been the case. I mean, let me just say, BSC Glasgow have scored more goals against Premiership opposition this season than in 2020 than Aberdeen have. So
there you go.
It's an interesting one. The one thing I do want to say regarding that game from a perspective, I thought Cosgrove got away with murder again with his diving. Did you see that one at the edge of the box? Something needs to be done with that, because he's doing it every single game. He buys fouls by just drawing them. Even the commentary was like, he just threw himself to the ground there. So
I thought that was embarrassing, man.
And then he's lying down like that, and he's rolling about and holding his stomach. The boys didn't even touch them. Do you know what I mean? You can be clever within
football, man, and buy some fouls, but that one on the edge of the box is just blatant cheating and diving, isn't it? And it's, as I say, he is doing it quite a lot, and he needs to be cuter if he's going to do that shit, because it was clear as day.
It's just interesting because there's players in the league that gets reputations, and you always hear, they're not getting that when they actually do get filled because they've got reputation. How long does it take for Cosgrove to finally get this reputation? Because he's been doing it for as long as I've seen him now, and I honestly think he's a really good player. And see if he cut that shit out of his game, he could become a really actually great one, if I'm honest with you, because he's goal scorer, bare feet, physical, strong, quick as well. He seems to have it all, but right now he just seems to have down tools. And that chance you were talking about earlier regarding Lewis Ferguson, did you see his reaction when he didn't get that ball? I thought he was going to knock Ferguson out.
What you're saying there kind of resembles in Morelos. I was just to say, like, if Morelos could cut out a lot of the disciplinary issues and stuff in his game, which he has this season, diving and stuff like that, he would become twice the player. And Morelos has became twice the player because of that. And Cosgrove should look at that and think that he could do it too.
He could genuinely do it if he just tidies up that. There's a wee bit of difference here. I'm not going to say he's going to jump up and score as many goals as Morelos, but I do think there is something that he just needs to just switch it on him. I think if he gets back to his best, that's when he carries Aberdeen, but just shows you how much he has been carrying Aberdeen, because as soon as he stops scoring, fucking they're getting booed off the park every week now. They only ever seem to turn up against Rangers.
His fucking back must be killing him, mate.
It was my understanding that Aberdeen signed that South American boy.
Centre half.
But apparently it was the owner that wanted to make that signing, and McInnes wasn't allowed to get money for an extra striker. Mm-hmm. I've been told by an Aberdeen fan that, so I don't know what.
Something needs to change, didn't it, Gogsy? You touch on that. Something needs to change in terms of the Aberdeen shape. They're just not getting close enough to this guy as well.
I mean,
so he's running about. I mean, cut this man. I'm not going to ever talk down a striker again because we've just seen Stevie May turn that on. Well, fucking Chris Kane is doing all right. Like, all these strikers, actually. Dykes, who else? Doige, like, I ain't ever going to talk him down. So listen, Gogsy, actually, Main might be the man. He might be the man. Get him in there. Get two up front.
Mm-hmm. I do think some of their signings have kind of flopped as well, like your Wilson from Manchester United. He showed last year that he wasn't good enough and no consistent. They signed him to a decent wage, and now they've had to get rid of him as well after 6 for 6. Yeah, exactly. So I do think there is a lot of excuses getting made for McInnes. He has signed some people still, and it's just not working out. So again, it's going to be interesting. Watch him win 4-0 on Wednesday, and everyone's behind them again, because that seems to be what it is. One result seems to turn around. You all right with that, Ryan? You all right, son?
I feel like there's a lot of things have got a greater chance of happening. I was going to be very un-PG, but I mean, we'll keep it the other day. But anyway, let's move on to the next game then, because for the Kilmarnock perspective, actually, we never really even touched on them. How do you feel about this draw, actually, before we move on? Because we never said anything about Kilmarnock. I think it's very positive for Alex Dyer, considering, the form they went through. That was 7 losses in the bounce, and then turned it obviously around, getting a win at the weekend, last week. I suppose for them it works. It's a chance for them. They'll be fancying their chances at Rugby Park. So, if I was Alex Dyer and the Kilmarnock lads, I wouldn't be too disheartened.
And I'm noticing Broth is starting to get a wee bit sharper than that as well. He's starting to have his shots and everything again. He's starting to look a lot more confident. I think that goal last week, or the couple of goals, has really just settled her down, because he was snatching at his chances. But now he's starting to be that guy we all know he can be. So for Kilmarnock, that might be the best result they could have had. Take them back to your park and try and sound something. It seems to be if you score versus Aberdeen, you win versus Aberdeen.
Looks like it. Yeah,
that's the way it's gone. But anyway, next game, it is back to yourself, Ryan Mummonate. Where would you like to go next, mate?
Somebody touched on it in the last game we spoke about, so I'm going to go for BSC Glasgow against Hibs. May as well. The non-league side, who should be very proud of the position they found themselves in the cup, done really well to get far. Obviously, in the last round, they faced another non-league side, but it was like a cup final for them, bringing Hibs over to their own ground. I say their own ground, but they want to move back to Glasgow with a lot of stuff there. But Hibs get the job done. At points, though, it could be very different. It's a point in the game where it could have been 2-2. But
it should have been
2-2. So McNulty, a hat trick for him. Hibs fans will be buzzing. That's more goals in the side. And then obviously Greg Docherty as well, finding himself on the score sheet as well. So Hibs fans, I think the main takeaway for that is they've got I think Jack Ross has assembled a really good attacking squad there. If they can sort out, the defensive issues and a solid back line, a consistent back line, there's a lot of potential for Jack Ross at Hibs. BSC Glasgow, though, fair play to them. Hopefully see them back in the same stage of the competition over the next few years, hopefully back in Glasgow as well. It was an interesting round.
Yeah, considering they've played 13 matches to get here, I think they've done themselves proud, even with the scoreline being 4-1. Like you said there, they created massive opportunities. The Hibs defence, to me, still looks extremely shaky. It seems to be if you win the first header, they've just got a massive gap there. Force Rocky into making a couple of very good saves in that as well. But McNulty, you touched on there, that's a fantastic signing. But if you look at his 3 goals, 2 of them was assisted by Greg Docherty, and the 4th goal was actually done flipped. So I think that partnership between the 2 of them there, I think Greg Docherty will be a phenomenal signing for Hibs. And I'm not just saying that because he's came for Rangers. I really rate the laddie. He's got the engine, and you saw with that like over the top through ball, he's got the quality in that as well. And that's definitely 2, I think, going forward for Hibs is going to be the difference maker. But it does leave a very interesting argument now, or a question. Who do you go with the striker? Because they only like to play one. Deutsch.
I know.
McNulty.
And Deutsch is a man right now, for sure. They might look to change the shape because of the loss of Canberra. They might just do that or whatever. But I would say Deutsch is a man right now.
Yeah,
McNulty comes in, he scores a hat-trick, he shows his quality. But at the end of the day, all respect to BSC Glasgow, it is a lowland league team, and there were chances, although put away well, he should be scoring.
Yeah.
On touching back on Greg Docherty, CJ, actually thought he was poor in the game. I was not impressed. Was not impressed at all by him, man. I think he's got to do more against a team of that level. He's not played a lot of football, so that is obviously at the end of the day something that he's going to get at Hibs, hopefully, and hopefully can kickstart his career. I don't know if it'll be at Rangers though. I'm not going to lie. I like him as a player, but I didn't think he did enough. I didn't think Hibs were great in the match for BSC Glasgow. Right up until that 3rd goal, we're on it for that equaliser to go 2-2. They were brilliant in the game. I think they had equal amounts of possession in the game as well. And Hibs for me weren't great, but that's a credit to BSC Glasgow as well.
Yeah, they definitely made it tough for them. I just want to shout out Lewis Campbell. He donated £1 to the chat, mate. Thank you so much for getting involved. Gogs, is there anything you want to see regarding this tie before we move on, bro?
Again, you've summed it up really well. I thought the first touch with McNulty was really good, especially for the first goal as well. The space he created with just that first touch was fantastic. And I mean, all 3 of his goals, I mean, as a striker myself, I'm sure you'll appreciate CJ as well, really well taken, and the
confidence,
unselfishness to square the 4th goal as well was well taken. But it was good to see BSC Glasgow getting on the score sheet, because I always like to see the underdog do well.
That was brilliant.
They could definitely lead with their head held selves. They lost and by like 3 goals and they conceded 4, but still 13 matches that played them to get there, and I think they played their part in a very, very exciting game. But anyway, moving on to the next game, it's back to yourself, Mr. Sharpdiv.
Let's go up to Inverness versus Livingston, and obviously that was probably the biggest shock of the weekend. Inverness coming out.
I think I backed Inverness, so I was quite.
You backed Inverness.
I backed Inverness, right?
I think I backed Livingston because last week on the show we did have a big discussion about is it the plastic pitch, and I was quite vocal in batting them up and saying that they have got some good play about them. But for me, with the form that they've showed, especially at home, they need to go up there and do a job on Inverness, because Inverness, although only having the worst season in the Championship, they're not exactly going to be getting promoted. So I think that they've got to go there and they've got to get a result, to be quite honest. And maybe I was wrong last week. Maybe they are just mince away. Maybe it is a plastic pitch. I don't know, man.
Again, I've not got any words, mate, because what did we say? We had a long discussion last week, Ryan. I'm going to fire it to you in a second just to ask you your opinion on why they are so different at home than away. But once again, Livingston away from home doesn't turn up. They created barely nothing in the game of football. What's your thoughts on this, Ryan? Why is there a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde team?
I think it's purely down to that, the situation with what Div's already said. He tried to back them up. I think it's down to the plastic park. I think that is it. I think, they train on that park, they play in that park, and they make it difficult. They make it extremely difficult, in fact, for teams to go to the Tony Mac Arena and play them. The way they set up on the sides of the park and everything, it's just completely different to when they go anywhere else, which is on grass. I think for me that is the clearest piece of evidence for their change and quality when they play home and away. There might be something else there. Maybe they just aren't as comfortable playing outside their own stadium, but I think it's purely down to the surface.
Mm-hmm. Red Bull Score actually says ICT deserved to win, and I've got to completely agree. As much as we're talking about Livingston being poor once again, I thought Livingston Inverness done their job at home. They got tight to them constantly, got stuck in the face. And see, if you were to ask somebody what team theirs in the top flight, you'd have probably guessed Inverness. And Livingston's got one of the best home records in the top flight of your league right now. That is such a credit to Inverness, but we shut them down completely. Dykes, who we talk about every week being a difference maker, was pocketed. He had one shot from outside the box, I think, which was a soft volley. He had to end up running the channels just to try and get near the fit, but Inverness shut him down that badly. And full credit to Inverness. As much as we're taking digs at Livingston, Inverness deserved it. It probably should have been there.
I think the main thing for Inverness is recently they haven't been that great. They've tailed off a little bit from the start of their season. So they're still up there, one of the teams as well, who honestly I believe, same situation as there, if a team from our league in 11th place was to play them in the playoffs, I could see Inverness going up. But they haven't. There's no reason why they couldn't, to be honest. But the way they've been recently hasn't been great. They've had a few issues up there, and also the window wasn't the kindest to them either, the transfer window. So fair play to Inverness, they got the job done. A lot of people didn't see that happening. I just had that slight feeling they would do it, and if only I remembered to make a graphic for the predictions, I would have been walking out strong this week.
I know.
Well, we all drew 10 points, but
everyone else.
I don't know.
We all had a really good week.
BSC had just had to score or rather for another perfect prediction. But anyway, just want to shout out Josh for donating $1.99 to the chat. Thank you so much. And he just writes in Shanklin, the Shanks, the big man. There we are, scores goals. But anyway, let's move on from that game of football, because again there was.
I have one more stat to bring up. Inverness have only lost 3 games at home this season, so I was not surprised about their victory, and they go through to play Hibs next round.
I will just say, if there's a worse away game than Livingston, Inverness are going to be up there, aren't they? I mean, what a trek that is.
I love it.
It's just as bad as the. Oh no, it's brilliant to go to on maybe a Saturday 3 o'clock, Sunday 3 o'clock. I mean, dragging yourself up there in this weather, oh my dearie God.
I love that away game.
Especially with the team's not big enough. We got the.
I can't even hear too many people talking at the one time there. I can understand.
Fucking Bruce Almighty there for a second.
Just like, right, anyway, let's move on to the next game of football. Gogsy 99, let's back to yourself, bro.
Let's go with the ground that we played at last year. Falkirk 0, Hearts 1.
Too soon, Gogsy.
Sorry, boys. had to bring it up. But let's just say, Hearts can be thanking their lucky stars that they are through to the next round.
I think how they're through.
Sustendo sauce, mate.
Had Falkirk not made that, had Doyle not made that stupid foul on Boyce early on in the second half, I think Falkirk would have at least earned themselves a replay. And I mean, okay, Sean Clare took it away really well, but I mean, to hit the woodwork 3 times, potentially have a penalty denied as well. I'm just really surprised that Falkirk are out. But
it's unbelievable when you actually looked in the break of the game. Falkirk absolutely battered Hearts to oblivion, and you look at the chances that they missed, one-on-ones, they at the inside of the post, the outside of the post, they hit the bar. You had Salmon ironically jumping like a salmon and missing a free header. It was all happening in the game. But the only thing that didn't happen was the ball going at the back of net for Falkirk. But even the way they conceded was so daft, because the ball, it's a long ball, right? I think the ball's actually gone away for the Hearts player. I don't think he's going to do nothing with that. And the boy like, why? The boy's literally running like away from the goal, and the boy just trips him up. It was daft.
It's a situation that you go and try to win a corner from, and he goes and makes that stupid foul.
It's unbelievable. I know there's people like mentioning the statement. We're going to be mentioning that in a future video. I just want to shout out Undertaker for donating. I know there's a statement, mate. We're going to be bringing up on the next video that I'm actually break down and discuss to a bit more detail. But regarding Falkirk themselves, Ryan, anything you want to say about this? And how do you see Hearts? Because, I mean, every time you think it's starting to kick in for Hearts, they just show they only turn up against the good teams and then they fucking just go straight back in there. What's going on with Hearts?
Suitors at the back, Boise in attack. Stendo's got us playing. Hearts are back. That's it. Just had to throw that in. That's a very good shot.
I didn't even know that. I've not heard that.
Have you not heard that yet? Have you not heard that yet?
Nah.
Brilliant re-chant. I should see the video. But no, Hearts.
No,
let's just pretend that never happened. First off, can I just say before I mention anything on the game, I feel sorry for anybody who attempted to watch this because my God Almighty, did you see the camera?
I literally thought you ran away, Ryan. I was like, that must be like you every time you come to training when it's raining. Did I see that? Explains the mathematics.
That's literally my view. 99% of December through February. I think that Hearts. I think they're in one of these situations. The game at the weekend, once again, it's just so. It was such a. I don't mean to speak ill of the game or anything, but the weekend was so bland. It was just so boring. I think the weather just affected that so much. You look at that game; it was just solid to get a proper good game of football going. I do think Hearts are going to be, getting back up there. Though I think this game, a cup game, both teams up for it. Maybe a little bump in the road for Stendel's side, but. I don't think they should look at it too much, considering everything surrounding the game, the elements and such. I think
we spoke Stendo up something awful after they came up with a master plan to beat Rangers, but since then they've done nothing, and before then they've done nothing. So Hearts have to start. I know they've won this game, but going to the league, they need to start winning games and they need to start playing better. And Falkirk, although judging by my stats here, did not have a shot on target, they hit the post twice and they hit the crossbar. Really, really unlucky. To come away for this as the winners for sure. And to touch on the weather, although it was dreadful, I thought the players done their best to try and hide that. I thoroughly enjoyed watching back that game.
Old school.
Aye, old school. Big Salmon up front. Big Salmon nut. Try to get in amongst it.
I've scored me goals at Falkirk Stadium and Salmon has. That's quite fun.
He's probably played 2 games.
We'll leave it there, though, Salmon. We'll leave that. We'll leave a rivalry right there.
But Claire again, Claire gets a goal.
Another Claire we made a fully div.
I know. I would say more so you, mate. I would say more so you. Sorry to throw you under the bus. I was getting pelters for my opinions on Dockett earlier, so I'm throwing you under the bus, right?
Sean Clare's a player who I feel he's done really well to kind of bring himself back to a decent bit of form. Somebody who it looked like he was getting quite vilified by Hearts fans at a point.
Literally every time he touched it.
So it's good. I mean, him getting some form back again will be good for his game. It'll be good for Hearts' game. I think Stendel's got a clear plan of what he wants to do there. I've obviously not been on since the massacre in January at Tynecastle. A lot of changes going down. So a lot of.
I think he's been in the massacre regarding the transfers. I think that's what
right.
I mean the massacre. I mean, like the Christoph Perez, the Glenn Whelans, all gone.
But Claire is a player to talk on what has happened since Stendo came in. Claire has been his key man so far. He has been. He's been his best performer of the players that have already been there, and he's bailed them out another wee penalty there. And I think he came under a brilliant penalty. Brilliant push puts it in the bottom corner, but I think he's came under a lot of criticism beforehand as well because he seemed to be one of Levine's favourites, and obviously the Hearts fans absolutely hated him, wanted him at the club and stuff like that. But now that he's away, he's put up good performances, man. So credit to him.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Redwood Squirrel says Hearts need Berra back. I don't think that's going to be happening after the way he was fucking drop kicked out of the.
Well, they've shit himself in their goals, mate. So maybe they do.
I don't
they kept a clean sheet, but 6 goals, I think. 5 goals they conceded. 6 goals in the last 2, actually.
It's mental. Hearts leaking goals out on an obscene level. Considering they've got one of what on paper would look like the best centre-half partnership in the league.
One of the best.
I've got a wee bit of a problem with that, man. The statements. A lot of people have kind of talked up Hockett and Suter and stuff, but I do see a lot of potential in him, and I think Hockett has been one of the better players, but you just can't be conceding the amount of goals that they've been conceding and still be getting credit. Do you know?
Where do you think it's going wrong? Do you think they're lacking that leadership at the back then, now that Berra isn't there? Where is the lead? Because I've said every week on this show, and it's not just because I didn't like him and like Naismith isn't a leader for me. He's a moany wee bastard. He always has been. Even when he was at Rangers, he was exactly the same. I think they need someone in there that's going to help, because they've got a lot of young players on their team. We keep seeing that. They've got some very talented youngsters, but where is the leader in Hearts team? Can you name one?
I know it's got to be Naismith, but whether he's a good leader or not is up for debate for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think Stendel's came in and he's a very attacking-minded manager, but he also needs to try. He also needs to try and kind of sort up at the back for sure.
Cam Wilson actually brings up something I just wanted to speak about very briefly. I've been getting tagged in a lot of stuff in the last week to 10 days about how bad this goalkeeper is.
Oh, he's absolutely mince.
Did you see last week some of the goals he was shitting?
Oh,
yeah. I'm refusing to talk down any player anymore, I'm telling you.
I'll tell you, because he has a wonder class, the next one.
Aye, always, man, always.
Let's move on to the next game then. We move away from that game. Unlucky for Falkirk. I mean, he's done everything but score. Unfortunately, that's the thing that matters most in football. But so, let's compare. What games have we got left?
Only the Hamilton Rangers, I believe.
Oh, really?
Whose shot is it, Ryan?
It's Goggs' shot now.
No, Goggs is his hand shot.
Was it?
That's
you, CG.
No, it's not. I started. I went reverse order. It's you, Ryan.
Rangers 4, Hamilton 1.
Oh, there we go.
Thank God, man. Thank God we got a few goals under our belt. And to be honest, although we go in at half time equal to Hamilton, I thought that the first half performance was better. I was impressed with Hadji. What did you think, CJ? I just feel I never thought, honestly, when we signed him, that he was going to kind of be as good in the last 2 games as he has been. Listen, still a long way to go, still a lot of stuff to happen and stuff. But what's your opinions? Because I've been really impressed with him, mate, the last 2 games.
I'm not going to get too carried away, but I think he might be the greatest player I've ever seen. I'm not getting carried away with that, but he's the best.
Have you seen Orlando?
But I've actually been really impressed. And I think he's filling a void now that Rangers have been trying to fill now for a long time, which is a player that can run in the middle of the park, put his back to goal, come short for the ball, turn, beat someone, and slide a pass through. He's done it several times. He could should have left the game with 3 assists, in my opinion. He put Morelos through twice, and he was very unlucky for scoring a header on his own as well. We've heard like for Gerrard that he's not up to speed yet, and so can you imagine what the lad's going to be like when he is up to speed? And when he gets he's only been with the players now like 10 days, 11 days. You can see the chemistry that's still trying to build there. He's worked already with Alfredo Morelos. But I think he's provided the spark that Rangers needed to get by the post-winter break blues, which continues to be there. Yes, it wasn't a perfect performance for Rangers. They weren't amazing, but they showed signs of just threatening to go back to what they were doing before December, which was attacking football. But I've got to be honest, Hamilton actually played their part as well, and I thought their 2 subs that they were forced into making changed the game, because I couldn't believe it that Ocampo wasn't playing, especially given the performance he played against Celtic.
Well, Hamilton, they made a lot of changes. That wasn't a full strength Hamilton, to be quite honest. What we were up against, Ocampo versus Celtic, was superb. He was on the bench. Davies started. Even Mikael Muller, who I rate, I think he's a good player. Obviously, he was on the bench, and there was a number of young players who were given the nod. And there's already a lot of young players within Hamilton, because that seems to be the mould. But definitely, CG, I thought once they bought the boy Mikael Muller on, he plays just a ball that I think our defence should be dealing with, and they get through it. I think it's poor defending, because he kind of just let Lewis Smith come into his right foot and just tap into the net. There's no real pressure on him, and then Mikael Muller's through again just before half time, and that would have been a nightmare. Glenn Kamara's came under a lot of stick, but that tackle was brilliant. But unfortunately for Hamilton, it resulted in Muller getting subbed, and that was a 3 subs gone. So I think that kind of had a bearing on the match as well, because they would have been looking to kind of make some subs and freshen up. They weren't able to do that, but obviously there's some things as Rangers fans you could still take away from this as negative, but I'd like to kind of focus on the positives. And a big one for me was Alfredo Morelos getting his first goal of 2020.
That was massive for his confidence.
Massive for his confidence, because I just thought there was something a wee bit off with him, whether it's something off the field, everything what's happening now, or maybe it is just a wee bit of blues and match sharpness. But for me, brilliant to see him back in the score sheet, and hopefully it continues to kind of put in good performances.
Yeah, because I said earlier on that he was snatching a couple of chances, but arguably the last 5 or 6 minutes after he had scored, he was back. Like, he was calm, he was trying to bring a lot of people into play. But Ryan, we've obviously not heard anything for you since obviously Hadji and that sign. And people's asking just for your opinion on the lad. Again, he's young. We're not coming here expecting to say his wishes, but just what is your opinion now that you've seen a wee bit of his highlights? You've seen what he's been able to do. What do you think?
Well, it's interesting because obviously this is the first time that I've been on the show since the kind of dip that Rangers have had since the winter break. Sorry to bring it up, but you know what I mean. It's been weird. The game in general. Before I talk about Hadji, just say the game in general, very very similar to the Celtic game, where Hamilton done really well to hold down, and it was towards the end Rangers really got themselves into it. Still think there's a little bit of rustiness there from Rangers, but they'll get over that. They definitely will. It's one of those things that maybe this is the game that kind of does it for them. Hadji on the other hand, I think he is definitely looked like a good player. I think someone I knew nothing about, but definitely from the opening 2 games he's had as a Rangers player has showed some potential. I mean, he's finished the other night at Ibrox against was it Hibs?
Hibs, a massive goal, man.
Terrific
massive goal.
So I mean, for all we know, a player there that has a lot of potential, a lot of quality to offer going forward. 2 games in very early. But you know what? It's nice to get. Sometimes you see a player like that and you like to get yourself carried away. It's the same on the other side of the city as well. So we'll see how he goes, see how he fits into the system. I think Rangers really needed a sort of creative midfielder. I think that was the one player that I would say Rangers needed. And maybe they've found the perfect answer right there.
That's very fair, mate. And the one thing I will say about Hadji as well, just to sort of top of his performance, is how brave he naturally is, and it's rare that you get someone so young, so brave. Even that finish, again, we're not really talking about it in detail, but versus Hibs, to try that 86th minute where the crowd's nervy, everything's nervy, to hit that on a volley, watching it come down, that takes balls. And I thought he was getting nailed in the game, let's be honest with you. They were giving him wee kicks to see. But again, just like he did versus Hibs, go back up and continue to want to be in it. And I thought Ryan Kent, because Hadji's now moving into the middle, that leaves Kent to go out wide again and hug the touchline. You can see what he done. He looked better as well because he doesn't need to worry about 3 or 4 people around him. He can get in the wing, beat someone, whip a cross in. So I think it's slowly starting to turn. Again, it's a machine that's going to take a while to heat up. But I feel like now, after a couple of games with her flashes, that game right there, you're starting to see where people's going to fit into the team. Your Aribos, your Hadji, how's it going to work with Kent, Morelos? You're starting to see it click. And I think Rangers are going to start just going with that. Gogsy, we Ken, you didn't rate Hamilton very much because of who you support. But what was your thoughts on the game, son?
I thought Hamilton were unlucky not to be ahead at half time because I thought they should have had a penalty or the handball on Goldson, and he basically caught the ball.
It's a fantastic save.
Oh, it was a great save, yeah. Especially in the referees again looking right at us, right in front of him. Yeah. But no, I mean Aki's were also unfortunate that they had to make 3 subs before half time, and I think that was one of 4 nails in the coffin. Yeah. But I must say the finish of Aribo to make it 2-1 was fantastic.
So good, isn't it?
Of course, I've got to say, Arfields' second goal was. I mean,
talk to me, yeah.
Oh, I can't. I had to see that about 5 times. I mean,
I want more of that. I want more of that for the Rangers midfield, man.
I don't like to praise Rangers or Celtic too much, but
in case you get hanged as being biased.
Exactly. Although I have no preference, but Arfields' goal was certainly fantastic.
I think on the other side of the game as well, I feel Hamilton are obviously a team that if people watch my channel, they'll know I slaughter them constantly. I hate them. I want them to be relegated. But as of recent, I have felt so bad for them recently because they've played so well in games and they've just it's been a tough run for them. Obviously, the situation with Brian Rice isn't pretty either. They're not going to manager into touchline. Yeah. I do feel bad for them that aspect, but you do get a feeling they'll do something sometime soon. What they've been doing, so maybe it'll pick up.
It probably will be, Gogs. Yeah, and I do think it was one of the hardest tests as well, considering how they've been playing. Like you saw them at home just a week. What was that? A week ago, Ryan, where you could have easily have lost that game if refereeing decisions that we obviously talked about with Connor Golson went another way, involving stamps and stuff like that. So Hamilton are putting in strong results, and I do think that Okampo, the big laddie, because as soon as that game with Celtic last week, Ryan, as soon as he came off, they had no out ball. They couldn't move it, and that's when Celtic really started to turn the key, in my opinion, and that's when he came away and won that game. So I think if you can keep him fit and start building just a couple of pieces around him, I know Blair Alston can play football and stuff, but just a couple more pieces, I think Hamilton will be once again all right. unfortunately.
I think that's it. The main conversation for Hamilton is the two players. I think the two players that are going to be the kind of as Gogic and can't even be bothered trying to pronounce his second name. I think it's between they two. You know, if they keep them fit, they will probably end up staying up. As much as I want to see them go down.
I know. I'd have loved them just. But shipping late goals is what they did. That's what I said in the preview video, and I even said that on Twitter when everyone was freaking out it was 1-1. I was like, they are exceptional at conceding late goals. And once again,
versus Rangers.
It happens all the time, man. But anyway, let's move on. Is that all 8 games broken down and discussed?
That's every game.
So, yes.
There we are, ladies and gentlemen. So before we start looking ahead to the next round very, very briefly and give our thoughts on the way the draws went, let's get the goal of the round. I think it should be easy, this one. I'm going to go first because it's easy for me. Scotty Arfield second one, not the first one because he missed the penalty.
Right, I'm going with that as well. I'm going with that.
Give me a salute, Div. Come on, give me one.
Let's do it. I loved when the Freedom done the salute. That was brilliant.
I know, my heart. I was going to try and get Ryan to do that there, but he would spoil it. Right, Gogsy, we'll go to you next, mate. What's your goal of the round?
It's got to be Arfield. I mean, I can't think of a better goal.
Come on, Ryan. Don't let the show down. What's the goal of the round?
Goalie, man. If he whatever he does.
I'm going to go for Scott Brown's tapping.
No, you're not.
Honestly, I think it's sad to say, but I probably will have to go for Arfield's goal.
Brilliant, well done.
It's a 4-finger salute because we all picked them. Yes, Ryan. You fucking love it, didn't you? Right, so that's it for the goal of the round. We're not really going to go into
it. What did you say, Gogsy?
Show your true colours.
Where you go, you.
Hey, did you catch something that came up on my Instagram the other day, Ryan? It was 1 year ago, nearly to the day, that you were reading out the games, and then you went Dundee, then the other team. Fantastic.
Right, so let's move on, boys. Predictions, is it now? I hear.
Predictions for the old. Is it the Wednesday games? Let's do predictions for the Wednesday games.
Midweek. Let's get it ready. I get my games up. Let me get my.
On you go, Ryan.
Back to doing my regular old
job,
my old segment. I've missed doing this, so I guess the first place we'll start off at is going to be at Celtic Park. Let's go there. Celtic taking on Hearts in a game where, I believe personally
they'll actually try.
Should be a feisty one, but should be easily done. I'm going to go for a 3-0 Celtic win.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Dev, would you like to give us yours?
I think it will be relatively comfortable for Celtic as well, but I'm going to give Hearts a goal just because I think they will go there. I think they'll attack. They'll be a wee bit more conservative, but I think they will just leave themselves open, but they'll try and get forward as well. So I'm going 3-1 to Celtic.
3-1. CJ?
I believe, once again, and I'm not just saying this, like I said it in the preview video when we played Hearts, Aberdeen, your Kilmarnocks, they just, doesn't matter what the form is, doesn't matter what stats say, then is it, whenever they play Rangers and Celtic, they just play better because the players are actually motivated. So I think it's going to be a little tighter than people think. And I'm actually going to go with a score draw, 1 each.
Oh, dear me. CJ, even at Celtic Park, surely
no? Naismith's going to score both of them.
God.
And do you care what's going to happen? Do you care what happens when he scores both? He's not getting on the wall because I fucking hate him. So he's never, it doesn't matter. Never.
Gogsy, on you go.
I'll go 4-1 Celtic.
4-1. It's the thinking is for me, like if Hearts are leaking 2 and 3 goals to teams like St Johnstone and such, then I just feel like Celtic's will put a good few by them. Anyway,
before we move on, by the way, I just want to say I'm not just being pure biased there. I'm being biased because Ryan's back just to wind them up. But I do think they teams have a track history, especially Hearts have actually got a pretty decent record at frustrating Celtic. Maybe no like over the last season, but the seasons before. So I just feel like they try. You know what I mean? And it's just sickening to say that because if I was a Hearts fan, I'd be raging that they only turn up 4 times a year and stuff like that against 2 teams. But that's the way it is in this league. But we'll carry on to the first game, the first prediction. And Scott Wrightson 5-4 to Hearts.
Penalty shootout.
Jesus, H. Owen Wrights. Alistair Wrightson 23-1 to Hearts. See a wee run of theme here. Owen Smith goes 2-2. James Sutton Wrightson 4-0. 4-0 Hearts. Yes. Ross Livingston has to ruin it though.
Finally, well done, Ross.
3-1 to Celtic. The dugout writes in 2-0. Adam Oliver writes in 3-1 to Celtic. Let's see. Peter Ramsey writes in 4-0 to Celtic, which is actually the scoreline I was going to go if I wasn't being biased.
Smart people.
Right, next up.
Anyway, we're going to get the old firms teams out the way. Kilmarnock and Rangers, Rugby Park. Now, I said earlier today on a video I was recording earlier, if Celtic win against Hearts and Rangers drop points here, we are so close.
And brilliant. Thanks, CJ, for putting him.
Get the fuck out of here with those talking titles. Shut up, you know.
Am I back now? Am I back? There we go. Boom.
We heard you, mate. We heard everything. Was just about to start.
I think Rangers will keep up the pressure, though. I don't see them dropping points to Kilmarnock this week. I think they're still a little bit away from when Rangers may drop points. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 Rangers win.
Cheeky channel favourite, naughty, right?
CG on you go.
You'll find out tomorrow in the preview and prediction video. Please watch.
Don't watch. Gogs.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Rangers as well.
Channel favourites all around.
And finally, Bev on yourself.
I also believe Rangers will have too much, but I don't see it being an easy game. So I'm going 2-1 to Rangers as well. Seems to be a running theme at the moment.
Big banger, which is the best. To be fair, he's not far off. Writes in 2-2, score draw. Ross Livingston writes in 3-1 to Rangers. Tommy writes in 3-0 to Rangers. Rory goes 4-2. I'm just laughing at some of the comments that's in there. Johnny B writes in 4-0 to Rangers. I want to be Hadji. Alistair writes in 3-0 to Rangers. Chick Sharp, always optimist. Chick writes in 3-3. Artiso Gaiman writes in 6-0 to Rangers. And wait for another one to come in. I thought, it's frozen up.
Craig 1872 says Subway loyal. So there you go.
There we are. And Baz Bowski, there he is. The Baz star. Thanks for watching. Baz writes in 2-0 to Rangers. So there it is. Next up.
All right, Baz, mate.
Right, the next game up is over in Perth. Gogs' Mob. We're getting our 3 teams at the way for a change. Gogs' Mob taking on St Johnstone at McDermott Park. CJ, take us away.
I was too busy laughing. You said Gogs' Mob. Who are they playing?
They're playing St Johnstone in Perth.
All right, 2-1 to Motherwell.
2-1 to Motherwell.
Think about it.
If on you go, son.
I think that Motherwell's lull is going to continue and Stevie May's form is going to continue. So I'm going with a 1-0 victory to the Perth Philonians.
I hate you. That's my prediction. I'm going 1-0.
I also hate you.
Thank you very much. Dogs, sorry, mate.
I don't know. I've got a really bad feeling about this game. St Johnstone in good form. Only lost 2-10. We are in a dip. I'm going to go 1 each draw.
Ooh, it's so
scary to actually hear that St Johnstone lost 2 of the last 10. Like, what is happening?
There's a point on this. If anybody in the viewers are watching and they want to do the digging, I said they were going down an episode of this. I said that's it. They're done. What has happened? I said that.
I think we all said that, mate. You cannot count anybody out in Scottish football. It's just swings and runabouts, peaks and valleys.
It's crazy because it's not even just in the Premier. If you look in the Championship, Dunfermline lost 5 games in a row. They could have been going down. They win 1 game and then they're going up again. Like, it's mental. That's, you know what? English football need to take a real lesson off us. It's brilliant up here.
English football is pish.
Yes. Commercialised pish as well. Redwood Squirrel writes in 1-0, Stevie May. Rory writes in 3-2 to Saints. Sorry, Gogs. Scott writes in 3-0 to St Johnstone. Sorry, Gogs. 0-0 draw. There's always one. As the dugouts 0-0.
Very possible.
James Hunter writes in 4-0 St Johnstone. I want to be Stevie May. Yes. Sorry, Gogs. The last one, Andrew writes in 3-0 to St Johnstone. Sorry, Gogs. Right, moving on.
Let's have a positive one. Come on.
I'm looking for one, mate.
I just seen one. Someone said 1-0 Motherwell. Hey!
2-1
50 times a day.
Well.
We're off to the Tony Macaroni where Livingston take on St Mirren.
It's easy.
I mean, it's going to be I think a straightforward one for most people here. Gogs, take us away.
2-0 Livingston.
2-0 Livy. I am going to go with a surprise of a 1-0. I'm going for a 1-0. I think St Mirren are going to hold them off. Div.
Wow. I think Livy are going to grate the cheddar. It's going to be 2-0.
And TJ, there we go.
I really think they're going to cut them open like a tin, and I think Livingston's going to go away with 3-0. 3-0 at him. What they always say every week on this channel, you didn't bet against Livingston at Hames. Easy.
They've not conceded a goal at home in the league, Ryan, in 540 minutes.
1-1 draw. St Mirren are going to do something.
Well, how many times can a ball really have a big old arse and go in? How many times?
What is the current standings again for the predictions? I'm 3-1 up since we started taking account, haven't we?
No, mate, you're actually 2-1 up. So
well, I am still in the lead. I went 3 in a row. I was hoping for 10, but
again, 10s didn't happen, unfortunately, Ryan. Just like in real life. Scott writes in 1-1. Blue Rangers writes in 2-0 to Livingston. A lot of people's actually backing a draw here. Ross goes in 1-1. Remy writes in 2-0 to St Mirren at the Tony. Oof.
That'd be some result.
No, that would blow me away. Like Jimmy also writes in 1 that will really surprise me. He goes in 3-1. Obica to get all 4. Big Obi. Love that. It could happen. It could happen. Big Tommy writes in 5-0 and Lewis Campbell writes in 2-1 to Livy. There we are.
Superb. We're off to the Fountain of Youth Stadium, which I only found out was the actual name of it this weekend. Thought it was still the Super Steel.
Is it not the Super Steel?
No, it's the Fountain of Youth Stadium. Fountain. Aye, fantastic. Yep. So we've got Hamilton against Aberdeen. And I'm going to let CJ take it away. I'm
just still fucking blasted by the name, if I'm honest with you. Fountain of Youth?
Yes.
Is that because they were trying to get Dougie Emery to come back? Is that the reason? Come on, the Fountain of Youth, Dougie.
It's named after Dougie Emery. That's what
that's what it is.
Yes, that's what he's known as. That's what he's known as in Hamilton. Am I right, Gogsy? Cheers.
So as I just used one of my catchphrases that I always say in the show, you never bet against Livingston at home. I'm going to use my other one. There's always a 0-0. And this is it. 0-0.
Gogs.
I think Hamilton are finally going to get their rewards for how well they've been playing recently, and they'll win 1-0.
I am going to go for the tight squeaky bum time winner for Aberdeen. They're going to win 2-1.
I'm going 0-0 as well.
Have they ever scored 2 goals in the
week.
last 3 months?
Look, in the last 3 months, the only time I think Aberdeen have probably scored 2 goals was in the Scottish Cup 5th round when they beat Dumbarton 2-1 with an 85th minute penalty.
Funny thing is, it finished 1-0, Ryan, so you're wrong.
1-0. I knew it was an 85th minute penalty, and that's that. Yeah. But I thought it was 2-1. Right?
I think you're talking about a training match there, Ryan. That was the last time they scored 2 goals.
Right, twat now. Thank you. I'm just going to leave that.
Right, next up.
Finally, we have got a wee trip over to Easter.
No. Has everyone said their prediction for them there? I need to read it to people. Everyone.
Everybody's went.
Deb, what did you say for that game?
Not an each, mate.
Oh,
it's my 0-0 of the week.
Yes. Remy agrees with us there. 0-0 again. Tommy writes in 0-0. Jasper actually writes in 2-1 to the Ackies. Cameron McFarlane goes 0-0 of the week. I just saw the comment above that, and yes, I did see it. A lot of people writing in 0-0, 0-0, 3-3, plus a 90th minute red card. Jesus, the Aberdeen fans would be praying for 3 goals in a game. But anyway, let's move on to the last game.
Final game, Easter Road, as I said, Jack Ross's Hibs against Ross County. I'm going to kick us off here, and I'm going to go for a 4-0 Hibs win.
You're fucking smoking something, man. I've not seen any inkling as to why that's going to happen, so that's why I'm going 1 each.
Because these left bollock supports Hibs. That's what it is, left and right. They're just banging against each other. Just for green sadness. That's what that is.
Look, I've got a good record in these predictions, I'm telling you.
You fucking mentioned it.
You went last, but you're slow. You're going last now, right? On the way
what
down.
it is, Ryan? You're overconfident with the death of you. That's what it is.
Ross County have a decent record against Hibs this season, so I'm going to go with 1 each draw.
Little did we mention it's actually the Ollie Shaw derby, so that'll be a good laugh, that. And CJ to finish us off.
I am actually going to go with a 2-1 Hibs win. I think it'll be tight, but I feel like Greg Docherty will add a wee bit of a spark, and I believe McNulty will come off the bench and score the winner. There's a full prediction. Worth it.
McNulty could be the difference for sure.
It could be. Tommy writes in 4-3 Hibs. Jesus, another goal fest. Remy writes in 1-0 to Ryan's favourite team. Jasper writes in 2-0 Hibs. Sarah writes in 1-1. Alistair's gone for his 0-0 and Alan to score. Come on, Alistair.
Right.
Help me out here. Come on.
Right.
VAR will rule it out, basically.
That's it. Reece just writes in CJ gives a shout. Yeah. And Scott writes in 1-0 to County Moan the Staggies. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The preview is done and dusted. The predictions are done and dusted. The recap's done and dusted. The goal of the week's done and dusted. Now, all that's left after an hour and 9 minutes is to finish up. It's a good show, lads. Good show. Ryan, want to tell them where they can find you?
That was good being back. If you want to find me, it's over there, just there. Type that at YouTube. And if you want to get me on Twitter, then it's at Ryan Stephen F.
And we'll see you in another 3 weeks.
What's your email address?
Don't put that. Just because I'm back today doesn't mean I forgot, CJ.
Right, Div.
You can find me sharpdiv. Just search that, mate. I'll just pop up. That's it. Search it wherever you want.
Perfect, mate. Perfect. And see what you've done. You've inspired the missus to make a TikTok on Rocky. And she's been showing me a video she made of Rocky, and I was like, get that off TikTok.
She'd probably get more followers than me, man.
It's called Rocky Boy J if you want to follow the Rocky Boys Twitter.
I'll follow it now.
There we are. And Gogsy99, where are you?
On YouTube at Gogsy99, on Instagram at GogsySan.
And I have been sieging over 92. Thank you so much. We just recently hit 37,000 subscribers again yesterday, so I just want to thank every single person watching. Thank you for subscribing and all your support. We will be back next week, react to the midweek games and everything in between. So thank you for watching and bye. Then this is the awkward part, boys, because we're still on, look.